Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Battlestar Galactica. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 12 of Battlestar Galactica. And yes, I do know that it is a part 1 and a part 2, which means I will be watching both of them today, but they will be on 2 separate reactions. So sorry. I feel like that's going to be the best thing for Xander editing-wise. I feel like that's what's good for me because you guys know how I like to talk before and after. Oh, poor Xander. He would have just hours and hours and hours of things to edit. So think of Xander in this moment. But yeah, we will just be watching part 1 in this reaction. Part 2 will be in a separate reaction. And the fact that it's penultimate and finale for season 1, I feel like I'm going to have a lot of things to say, a lot of things to talk about, cry about, get upset about, be mad about, be irritated with, laugh at when it comes to Gaius. Like I feel like this is where they're going to pull out all the stops. And I fully believe I'm going to get like the worst cliffhanger in the entire world at the end of this season because it's this show. They do that to you all the time. Even if it's not a cliffhanger, you're just like, oh, the episode's over? There's just never enough. We want it all, and we want it all now. But I feel like I'm going to have to do a lot of talking, decompressing, and tell you all my emotions and everything that I'm feeling and my immediate reaction to whatever it is that I'm going to watch. Now, the last episode, the biggest takeaway, even though there was a lot of things that happened politically, but is the fact that Hilo knows that Boomer is a Cylon. Now, if he doesn't, he's an idiot. But he was like very much talking about Six, and unless they're twins, they have to be Cylons, look like humans. And she's like, oh, maybe. And, like, well, what if they have feelings? And like, I get her like trying to be like, hey, they're not bad or evil because I'm one. But I don't know if that's like so she can get her mission accomplished or if it's because she actually cares for Hilo. That's the thing with Cylons. Still not sure if they have the capability of feeling the way humans feel. Sorry, that was a really loud muffler. But I feel like Hilo, as soon as he saw Sharon, and then he saw Sharon, that he was like, shit. And like he ran and she was kind of chasing after him, and I feel like Hilo was like kind of like he was almost like a different Hilo when he was talking about the Cylons and just kind of discovering that they look like humans. Like he was almost kind of saying it with like hate in his voice. Like he was just very disgusted by the idea. And I feel like beforehand I would have been like, oh, well, like he loves Sharon, so maybe he would like maybe see things differently. But him taking off, that was definitely a conflict of feelings that was happening there because like he definitely has no love for the Cylons, and discovering what he did about the Cylons, but then also discovering what he did about Sharon, there was a lot of conflict happening in there. So I would love to see how we resolve that. And if there's a baby, whatever. Abort. I'll accept it for whatever it is. I'll go with the flow. Ugh. Now we also got kind of like where we got a different Hilo. We also kind of got a different Lee. And I don't know if it was just specifically for that episode, but he really wasn't that like angry or vile towards Tom Zarek before. And I understand why he wouldn't like him or why he wouldn't trust him and like why he's very loyal to the president. Like, I get it. But like him, like we saw Starbuck torturing a prisoner, like literally 2 episodes before that we know was a Cylon. So like there's a lot less sympathy when it comes to the Cylon. But like when there's somebody we don't know is a Cylon, he may be human, he might be a Cylon. But like I almost feel like I would have accepted Starbuck torturing him or beating information out of him. But like when it was Lee, I was like, that's really out of character for him. Normally he's calm, cool, and collected, and maybe, him working outside the box the last episode prior, he's just like, you know what? I'm going to do it Starbucks way because flying Starbucks way helped me last time. So I am now going to do this Starbucks way. No, the way they treated Valance in that whole scene was really tough to swallow. And then we don't know who killed him. Um, my guess is it's the guy that hit Lee with the bottle, because he seems like a complete asshat. But like there's like Zarek was saying, like, I didn't kill Valance, and maybe not. I don't know. One of your loyalists might have, and like people do that all the time in the name of like whoever they are supporting politically. I don't really understand when people get so emotionally attached to a political candidate. I feel like you're like, you know what? I really love and I'm really attached to this massive manipulator. All politicians are manipulators. So like when you kind of have like that overall like very emotional attachment to them, and like how dare anyone say anything bad about them or whatever it is, like it's kind of like, I don't think a politician should ever be your hero. That kind of says a lot about you. So I that guy hitting Lee with the bottle still kind of boggles my mind. Who thought that was a good idea? And Lee getting into a fight with him, but right prior to that was pretty much almost saying to him, like, I'm better than you. That's so unlike Lee. And that like just goes to show that like political alignments can like make you change your personality completely. That's why I don't watch the news. I prefer to be happy. Now we also saw Ellen kind of getting into cahoots with Zarek a little bit. I'm not going to say that like I didn't expect that. I mean, I totally. So the thing with Ellen is that one, I don't trust her, but she kept like talking about like helping Saul's career. And like that bothers me because like the only step up really is like commander or in charge of a ship. Like, I don't know what she's trying to do. It's almost like, I don't know, like the manipulation of Gaius is like the manipulation of Saul, to where like I don't know what she's trying to do career-wise for him other than better her life. I'm sure she wants to be somewhere where there's people who are incredibly rich or have a lot of pull, and you know, her being on a battleship probably is not her living her best life, because she seems like she's better suited for Beverly Hills than Battlestar Galactica. Now we got Vice Pres Gaius. That seems like a great idea, although entertaining for us. Like, as a viewer, I'm like, oh, give me more. But like, if I were on Galactica, I'd be like, you know, that guy talks to himself all the time in the hallway, right? Like, he's not all there. And I do like that President Rosalind is like, yeah, you gotta like keep the devil you know around, like the one that you know that's around you that you can, I don't want to say control, but like, I don't know, like she can't trust Tom Zarek no matter what, and that's not even coming from me. She cannot trust him. But like her trust in Gaius might be questionable at sometimes, but at least she is a little bit more aware of how weird and quirky he is. I don't know if she sees through it or not. How do people not go, you okay, dude? I think maybe you need to go to sick bay and like knock him out for a while, and then like I don't know, like stop the weirdness from happening, or like it's weird how all these incidents don't happen when Gaius isn't awake. I don't know. It's not even about the incidences that happen. It's just like he's always involved in every scenario. And it's just like, what if he wasn't involved in this scenario? Let's see how this plays out. So I don't know. And like some of the scenarios, like them, like, you know, getting the fuel depot and the Olympic carrier and stuff like that. I'm not saying it like worked out in their favor, like in a happy way, but like it worked out in their favor. Because I'm still like, you know, when I think about the people on the Olympic carrier, I'm like, gosh, did they mean to die? I still don't know. After all these episodes, still not okay with it. See, I am not like Commander Adama. I cannot let it go. We got some interesting character moments between Starbuck and Lee. You know, not only were they like fighting together, but then she's like in a dress, dancing around. I don't think she was limping when she was dancing in her dress. So maybe she doesn't need a cane when she's dancing. I don't know. But she looked smoking hot. Congratulations, Katie Sackhoff. She still looks good. You know, having the president dance with the commander, I thought was kind of cute and fun. It's like mom and dad, like having like a, oh, let's just take a spin around the dance floor kind of moment, and Dee and Billy having their time. You know, I like seeing different sides of the crew. I don't always want it to be like absolute dread or like space shit with big victories. Like I like different stuff happening throughout the show. So I was really happy to see that. And we hadn't had really anything with Chief or Boomer, not that like they're still together, but like, you know, like they kind of have like those weird moments where like Boomer's caressing the Raider and Chief's like, what? So, you know, I would like an update with the Raider, with Chief, what he's found. And somebody really interestingly enough said that like Chief is good with like planes and keeping the Vipers in the sky in space. That he's not a doctor, and that the Raider is more biology than it is mechanics. And I think that that's really interesting. And you know, like Starbuck getting in there, she knew exactly where to put what to make it turn on. That's a weird sentence. I regret it. I really do. But guys, I'm looking forward to getting into this episode. I hope that I have a good amount to talk about after, and that I don't want to just jump right into the next episode. But I feel like I'll be frothing at the mouth because this show is so good, and I can't wait. And by the way, my dear friend Sunny from Cat and Sunny, his videos should be premiering on YouTube soon, so make sure that you go over and you subscribe to his channel, and that you turn on your notifications, because I have seen the miniseries and the first episode thus far of his, and they're really good reactions. I really like his thought process and everything. He's not overly reactive, and he probably isn't going to cry like I do, but I like when people react differently than me, but still the same. It's the sweet spot. Okay, guys, let's get into it.
The hallucinations? You're gonna find Kobol. Be the birthplace of us all.
He says we're gonna find Kobol, and that it's gonna lead us to Earth.
We'll see. Oh, hi. This is not disappointing at all. Heavens to Betsy, Lee. You're gonna get cocky, kid. Jeez. Not pulling any punches at all, are they? Literally. Oh. Who dis? Six and Gaius? Oh, I'm like kind of embarrassed to even look. Who are we looking at? Starbuck and who? Who was Starbuck with? Wait, what are you doing? Boomer, why do you have a gun? What is happening right now? Yeah, that dad strength, yeah. Muscles might not be as big, but they're tenacious. This is such an interesting beginning.
Stop! Don't come any closer!
What are you doing? Does she know what she's doing right now? Does she have like any ability to like know she's being a Cylon right now? Is she gonna kill herself? Oh my god, please don't.
Just do it.
Who is this with Starbuck?
Lee.
Oh, not Lee. Oh my god. Yeah, you got your clock cleaned. Oh my gosh, this is such a crazy beginning. He actually shot her? It didn't look like a death shot, though. Awkward. I bet Gaius hasn't had that happen a lot. It's gonna be a headshot. Well, it doesn't have to be. She'll bleed out, but if you don't want her to be in pain. Is that a livable wound? Or you gonna shoot her and then take care of her and try to get her to heal up? So obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious or not, but Boomer definitely has the feeling that she's a Cylon, even with the test confirming that she wasn't. At least I think that that's why she would try to kill herself. Probably not over Chief. That seems very un-Boomer-like.
The doctor said I have 6 months at the outside.
Wow.
He said the cancer's moved into my lymphatic system. Aggressively moved in.
Rough.
I know you're the one to lead us to our salvation. You are going to guide us to Earth.
And we better find it soon.
Yeah. That's heavy. 6 months to live.
A little bit of that.
Those are they real?
This.
Why you guys always play this slow? Come on.
How you
Wait,
feeling,
what are you
guys?
saying?
You can't compete with me. I always win.
Wow, Gaius. It's funny how these guys are just hanging out, having a card game with Gaius. Vice Prez.
Maybe you'd like to sit next to Captain Adama.
Sure,
Oh,
Carolyn,
Gaius.
it's called the
Jealousy on you is icky.
Truly.
Yeah, I think you're done, dude.
How you could think that my head could be turned so quickly by a new thing? It's it astounds me.
It's your vice
How
president.
did you seriously think that I was going to be able to cope with this kind of responsibility?
Exactly. Look at him. He's falling apart.
I'm not your plaything.
Plaything.
Great.
I don't work for you.
I love you, guys.
Oh, do me a favor.
I think perhaps you need a break from this.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We need a break.
Quit being crazy and staring off into the distance saying things. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, you picked him, you goober. It's so entertaining. I love it.
I'd like to be alone if you don't mind.
Oh!
How can you love her, guys?
I don't.
You can't lie to me. I know everything you
Oh my
know.
god, he does not love Starbuck.
I thought you should know that it's not safe to remain on Galactica.
What are you talking about?
It's a surprise.
Tell me, what is it?
Tell me!
Yeah, I want to know. Oh god, what's gonna happen on Galactica? I can't.
Woman!
That's a big planet.
Gator, that fracking idiot. You can't plan to jump that close to a planet. What if we jumped into the damn
It
thing?
was great.
Yeah,
Fine,
that's what I was
maybe.
thinking.
Cool.
Oh, Sam. That's an atmosphere. It's the clouds.
Boomer, this could be it. This could be the big one. This is the little planet that solves all of our problems.
Calm down.
Boomer,
You okay, Boomer? What's going on?
do you think this is Earth?
Looks like it.
No, it's not Earth. It's more important than that.
You're not even Sharon. You're not even human, so don't start acting like you know me, because you don't.
And that's part of what you need to understand.
Sharon was a friend of mine. You are not Sharon. You got that?
Wow.
The only thing I want from you is a way off this fracked up world. That's it.
Yeah, keeping her alive is the best way to get off-world, but a twisted situation. I did not think he'd respond quite like that, and I'm not sad.
I'm not as smart as, say, Dr. Baltar.
Is he jealous now?
How is the vice president, by the way?
I don't know. Haven't seen him.
So he's a love him and leave him kind of guy, I guess.
Holy. It's really none of your business.
Like when you got drunk and you can keep your hands off the major from wherever.
Oh! Well... Everyone's
Why'd you
just
throw the
like,
carrot?
well...
Just tell me why.
Because I'm a screw-up. Let you try and keep that in mind.
Are you together? Because it's really none of your business if you're not.
On the order of approximately 2,000 years.
That's around the time the 13 tribes first left Kobol.
Oh, do they think this is Kobol? That's a very intricate city.
Look at the buildings.
Buildings.
Is she seeing something that's not there? Look at her. Ooh, she is locked on. She saw the city. Kamala extract? Or a prophecy? There a map of Kobol in there? Well,
This planet is Kobol.
oh, is she seeing?
Kobol.
Birthplace of mankind, where the gods and men lived in paradise until the exodus of the 13 tribes.
But why did the 13 tribes leave? I don't remember that. I don't know if they've ever talked about that.
The scriptures, the myths, the prophecies, they're all real.
So say we all.
So say we all. Boomer, I'm not like a Cylon lover, but I really don't want you to kill yourself either. Girl, oh please somebody walk in and see this.
This is a bad time, right?
No, I'm just cleaning my gun. Sometimes I have these dark thoughts.
What kind of dark thoughts?
Her model is weak.
Oh, shut up, Six.
Always has been.
Having emotions doesn't make you weak.
You can't help her, guys.
You don't know that.
But you could probably sleep with her. That's what you want, right?
It's... Is that the idea that you got of him coming in there and sitting down?
Listen to your heart. Embrace that which you know to be the right decision.
You don't see Six speechless that often. Speechless. So she didn't die.
You okay?
Sharon, you need help. Not from you. You ain't that clear.
He broke up with you. He didn't say he didn't care about you.
Thanks for coming out, Chief. You're dismissed.
Well, you're making sure you're alone. He came to see you because he cares.
If we had the arrow of Apollo, we could take it down to Kobol, and we could use it to open the tomb of Athena and find our way to Earth.
Sounds like some Indiana Jones stuff. Let's do it.
I didn't know you were that religious.
Neither did I.
Something wrong with that?
No.
Sometimes you have a spark of faith. Further away this time, hopefully.
Oh my god!
Oh no! Oh. Oh my god, if something happens to Chief, I riot. But she sent Gaius and said you don't want to be here when it happens. What happens? It's happening on Kobol. Oh no!
Can you jump us out? No, FDL drive's been hit.
Of course it has. Okay. So they're gonna go to Kobol.
Whenever they're within a certain proximity to one another, they send off a short IFF burst.
It's one of my favorite episodes of The Expanse is IFF.
Oh, God! Hang on, hang on!
Oh my god, Gaius, calm down, man. I'd say act like you've been here, but like you can't do anything about it by screaming. Chief, like, can you get like strapped in somewhere? Oh, it looks like where Jurassic Park took place. Da, 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 da.
I don't.
Lieutenant Thrace, attention!
Oh.
Lieutenant Thrace, I give you a command. You will obey it. Attention! You do not take your harebrained ideas to the XO without going through me first. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now kiss.
I'm putting an autopilot in the Raider. Jump him to the base ship.
Okay, an
Engage
autopilot.
the autopilot, punch out.
Might work. Might get you killed.
Would you miss me, sir?
Obviously, he'd miss you, girl.
I need
Look how
every
he's
pilot
acting.
I have. Even the screw-ups.
And the ones he seemingly has feelings for.
You can't be serious.
All of this has happened before, and all of this will happen again.
Yeah,
The
that
Cylon
thing.
you interrogated, he quoted that bit of scripture. He also said that we would find Kobol, and Kobol would show us the way, did he not?
And she's a believer.
The old man is our last chance to find Earth. He knows where it is. He said so. You were there. The location is a
do
secret.
not throw him under the
but
bus,
he is going
Prez.
to take us there.
Don't. Please don't say it.
Commander Adama has no idea where Earth is. He never did. He made it up.
You're lying.
Go ask him.
I will.
Yeah, she wasn't happy saying it either.
Can I ask you a question, boss?
Here we go.
Shoot.
How much longer till we reach Earth? We getting closer?
I'm sure we are. Good luck on the next test.
Not the answer she wanted to hear.
Apollo, Starbuck, I'm ready over here.
I absolutely love when she's inside of this thing. Oh, that's a fun sound. Is she for the test gonna go back to Caprica?
Starbuck wants to speak to you, sir.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
Where's Earth?
I believed you. Believed in Earth.
What are you doing, Starbuck? We can talk about this.
No, I don't think so.
I do not regret anything that I did.
And she's not gonna regret this.
What are you doing, Kara? Galactica Apollos, he just jumped away. Repeat. Starbuck and the Raider just jumped away.
Yeah. If he had come clean to her, would she still have done that?
Where the hell did she go?
Do they know the coordinates for Caprica? Like, could they jump to Caprica? Oh, that is a lot to digest. Okay. Okay, so even if Starbuck makes it back, which I'm sure she will, she in big trouble. But I don't like the way it all went down. I don't like the president saying something she shouldn't to try to manipulate Starbuck into doing what she wants. I get why, but I also don't like it. To pit Commander Adama and Starbuck against each other, that's just, you're breaking up a family, woman, for something you didn't even believe in a few days earlier, but now you think you're part of this prophecy. And she could be on the Kamala stuff and like be losing her mind. And at the same time though, like visually, I'm just like, yeah, it makes sense. Go do it. But I don't like that we did it at the expense of Starbucks and Commander Adama's relationship, because I don't think that's going to be easily patched. And I don't really like Starbuck leaning on the, well, I'm a screw up, so that's what you should just expect out of me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I'm hoping that like there's character growth that comes out of that like, she's just not like, oh, well, I'm a mess and that this is okay that I do this. Her hooking up with Gaius is just, that was kind of expected like maybe 4 or 5 episodes back. Not so much after that. I was like, she actually acts like she can't stand him. And then like her and Lee having that moment with her in the dress. And I was like, wow, is that going to be a thing? Because like sometimes they're flirty, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, also hooked up with his brother. Can't keep in the pants, keep it in the family. But then her calling Gaius Lee in the middle of the deed. And like, I'm sure that doesn't happen to Gaius a lot. I'm not laughing at Gaius. I'm just like laughing at like, what a situation. Because if you're any man in the entire fleet and you're with a cool ass chick like Starbuck and she says Lee, the hottest man in the fleet, the one of the best pilots in the fleet. He is the son of the leader of the fleet. He is like the right-hand man to the president. He's got them cheekbones. He got them biceps. Ooh-wee, I would feel insecure. I don't blame guys for feeling pretty insecure because it's Lee. You know, like, wow. Wow. But also, what? I'm just like, it kind of felt like it's out of nowhere that all of a sudden they have like this love and this relationship. But they are definitely contentious with each other. Like Starbuck really not showing him the respect of his position when he goes to the deck and her talking to the XO, which I thought was really interesting, is that she's just like, oh, well, you know, I don't think the Adamas are going to like this, so I'm going to go to the XO, which is very weird for Starbuck. It seems like she would be like, even with what was going on between them, that like Lee still would have been a little bit more, I don't know, perceptive to her idea. I mean, he seemed to like come around to it as she's explaining it, and it made sense. So it's just really weird that she went to the XO. And granted, that's saving face because she probably feels really dumb for Gaius. And Gaius, you know, I'm happy Boomer did not succeed. I don't. Like I said, it's hard for me to put a Cylon ahead of a human, but I think of all the Cylons in the entire universe, that Sharon and Boomer are the most human. And it's funny how Six thinks that she's weak, that she's the weakest model. And I'm like, emotions do not make you weak. As somebody who's a reactor who shares her emotions with people all the time, I would tell you that it's my superpower. So, you know, like her having sympathy and empathy and feelings, I feel like is a good thing. Now her like not being able to grapple with the fact that she's a Cylon and her, you know, subconscious fighting with itself, you know, I don't really have a take on that, but I would imagine that it's really hard. And waking up and not knowing who you are every day. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of people in the world today that feel like that in different ways. And so, you know, I extend a lot of empathy to her in that situation because I don't have an answer for it. And that's heartbreaking because, you know, like I think everyone like has a hard time like finding themselves and finding who they are. And when you do, and you're good and you're comfortable with that person, that's fantastic. But there's some people who never know who they are. And when you are literally like two different consciousness, or like your part of your brain gets turned off and the other part's turned on, or whatever it is, that there's a period of time where she is not Boomer, you know, she's something else, you know, like that's scary. That must feel like an insanity. Okay, so the prophecy and the gods and getting the arrow of Apollo, and that should point the way to Earth or something along that line. Okay. Like I said, like I'm up for an Indiana Jones type of adventure. Like, you know, are we gonna go on an adventure, or is she just gonna like run around, bump into Hilo and be like, hop in the Raider, let's go. You know, like, but if she's flying a Raider, Hilo might think that she is a Cylon. Ooh. Oh. The one model of Cylon you wouldn't want is a bunch of Starbucks. Yikes. But I guess that like that's the mission now. And you know, it's really interesting that they really did address, since the second episode of the miniseries, that Starbuck is a believer and that she does believe in the gods and that she does have a faith. So I like that, like it's continued without being like this thing that she has to talk about all the time, where I feel like 6 is constantly talking about the gods. It's like, God's this, God's that, God's this, God's that. And it's just like one note, and it's an annoying note. So it's just like, I'm glad that Starbuck doesn't sit in that headspace all the time, obviously. She'd be sinning left and right, right? I don't judge. It's none of my business. It's none of Lee's business. If they are not an item and they are not together, it is none of his business. Okay. And just as she said to the president, when the president was just like, are you a believer in the gods? And she's like, not that it's any of your business, but yes. I really like that she actually said that to the president, because it really is none of her business. But the fact that Kara said yes, and then the president was like, well, here's this. Do you want to watch prophecy come true? You want to check it out? You want to see? I mean, I want to see. I'm interested to see if there's any truth to it, if they can find Earth, if there's an arrow that points the way. But I'm just worried about what that whole scenario is going to do to Starbuck and Commander Adama's relationship. And Gaius, like talking to Boomer and pretty much like telling her to follow her heart. And I was just like, well, shit, like that's kind of new out of Gaius. I don't think that 6 expected that. Like, I think 6 expected him to like sleep with her. And I mean, I didn't necessarily. But I also like am used to 6 just being jealous and just being like, you should sleep with her, you should sleep with her, you should sleep with her. It just becomes a lot. The jealous mind 6. I mean, I don't again know what that is. If Gaius is losing his mind, if he's creating this thing to cope with whatever responsibility he has with what happened on Caprica, all the responsibility. But like, he doesn't act like a man who's guilty, but he does act like a man who's fractured, who can't cope. Those are two different things. A guilty person would be more like Boomer. But like, he's not a struggle bus. When he's like drunk and kind of snarling at Lee, and then like finally Lee kind of puts it together what happened. And I mean, like, it's funny how all the pilots are just like, let's sit around and drink with the vice president and gamble. I mean, okay. Okay, so we got the Cylon Raider to jump. They were successful. FTL worked. And she is off, so that's interesting. I wonder if they can get more Raiders. I don't know how you acquire those, but cool. We got the Raptor with Crashdown, who most likely crashed down on Kobol with Chief and Gaius. That's why I was kind of like, nothing better happened to Chief. But then I like realized Gaius is in there and 6 saying the thing that's going to happen here, you don't want to be a part of it or whatever. I don't know what that means. Excited about that. I don't know what's going to happen on Galactica, but we're going to find out in a hot second here. But yeah, I mean, where they landed like looked really nice. It looked like there's probably dinosaurs roaming around. So hopefully that's not the case. No little green aliens, but like, what if there were dinosaurs? Like, you could just ride a brontosaurus to Kobol. Or is Kobol a planet or is it a city? I think it's a planet. So I don't know what the name of the city was. I don't know if that was said or not. Or no, she said something about the Opera House. It's like a New York, New York, if there was also a planet called New York. It's a turducken of Kobol. I don't know. I'm cracking up over here. I'm having a good time all by myself. So yeah, definitely going to jump into the next episode here. But in the meantime, guys, the full-length reaction will be available on my Patreon. And if you are currently watching this episode on YouTube, the second part is available on Patreon. If you're watching this one on Patreon and there isn't a part 2, sorry, it's coming soon. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. If you're Starbuck, what do? Do you Independence Day to the mothership and blow it up on the inside? Which is really funny that Mary McDonald was also in Independence Day as the president's wife. And I cried at that scene too. So she's just a fantastic actress. When she finds out she has 6 months to live and she has that tear fall down her face, I was like, geez, my heart's breaking for you. But like, if you're Starbuck, do you fly to the mothership, or are you heading your ass back to Caprica to get an arrow for Apollo to point to Earth? I mean, she's gone. She's there. I don't know if she just comes back with a helo in tow, or if there is like something else that like goes on that makes it interesting. I mean, hopefully she comes back with the Arrow of Apollo, but I have a feeling it being the final episode, we're probably not going to get that resolution. All of season 2 is probably Starbuck on Caprica, which is actually really interesting because then she will have been away from the ship for a really long time. And she would know the coordinates to get to Kobol because she had those coordinates if she were going to make that jump, even though it was just a test run for the autopilot. I don't know. I'm trying to put all the clues together of what's going to happen in season 2. How about we just finish this season off? But guys, make sure you head over to part 2 and I will see you over there. Bye.